Hi everyone, thank you for being there. I will introduce briefly the director of Fleadh, the film you just saw. Olivier Babinet is a French director. He's first known for directing a TV series for French television called Le Bidule, dealing with humor about our consumerist society. He then made 2 feature films, both of them were screened in Cannes, one fiction, one documentary. Fleadh is his 3rd feature. And my first question to Olivier will be, an important part of the film is about the collapse. It's as if you've anticipated the news. How do you feel about this disturbing parallel?
Yeah, I think that it's like the movie change is not the same now than before COVID-19. Because it's not the answer to your question. That when you work on science fiction movie or anticipation, you say anticipation in English?
I think we can understand. Yeah, I understand, but I'm French, so I am.
But you always, when you put some science fiction in a story, you always try to imagine what's gonna be the future, and you, when you write, unfortunately, it's nice, but in my movie, the future is a little bit different than our present.
Yeah.
But there's some parallel because people watching the end through computers, and they are alone a lot. It's difficult to meet people for real. They have some difficulty to talk, and maybe it was in the air before. That's why I put this in the movie, and the sensation of end of is always with us, I think, since
Yeah.
since many times, and with my movie, I wanted to show that we still continue to live, to have a simple life, to try to earn money each month, to be in love, or we are sad because we are not in love anymore, but some things get worse and worse. In the movie, it's the end of some species, the fish, and recently it was because of this strange disease, this world disease, but we always continue to try to just be human and have simple life. My characters are not heroes, or they don't try to save the world. They just try to put gas in their car and go to work. And I don't know if I answer very well.
You answer it correctly, but what I
because
think it's
you
interesting.
know, I'm French, so it's not my language. So
It's okay. I think it was totally clear, and I'm also my English is not really good, but we'll manage to do it, I'm sure. And also, your film
you're French too, no?
I'm French too. Yes, it's
Okay.
true. And also, your film, as you say, I know that you made a lot of research, scientific research for building the script and the scenario. And can you tell us more about this research and how you built your scenario, your script, linked to the scientific you met and all these aspects that we discover in your film?
Yeah, for me it was really important to have a realistic base, and I think it's good for when you do anticipation movie to have a real base. And you were talking about the TV show I was working on before a long time ago, and we were always reading everything on one subject, all the articles we can find, and after that we were building the story. And I did the same with Fish Love. So for some reason I was interested in how fish sont perturbés,
Are disturbed.
Are disturbed because of shampoo in the water. That was my just, you know, sometimes you're interested in strange little thing, but that was the beginning. And I was on Google and doing some research about shampoo and fish, and I discovered that shampoo in the river they changed cause many problems to fish, and all human put in the water change the sexuality of fish. Is all of this is responsible of mutation with the fish. And I discovered that the same phenomenon exists for human. What we put in the water is disturbing for us too, and for our fertility. The sperm quality in Paris is getting worse and worse because of that, of les médicaments,
medication and
medication in the water, and so I discovered that in some part of the world, the penis of the alligators is getting little and little because of chemical products. And I discovered that human race, the penis of the male, of human male, is getting little and little, and that's different sign of fertility problems in the world, and that's a sign maybe of a global feminization of species. I don't know, but and at that time I wanted to have a child, so I was a little bit anxious about this, about is my sperm is still efficient to have a kid or not, because all my friends in Paris they were having problems to have kids, and I wanted to have a kid, but I was afraid by all of this and by the world and by and so the beginning of this story was why we still want to have kids in this world with all those problems and all those and maybe that was an unconscious fear of something.
But was it clear for you to make at the beginning a romance? Because everything you explain is a bit sad and pessimistic, more or less, but you decide to make a romance, a love story between these two characters. Was it clear at the beginning of your research that you, first of all, want to make a romance?
Yes, that was, yes, before that, before the shampoo and the fish, I was trying to write a love story, because at that time I discovered that I was a sweetheart that love a lot love story, and the movie, one of my favorite movie were love story, and so I decided to do a love story, a simple story, and a story when you watch it you want at the end that the character kiss each other. It's simple as that, but it's origin of many movies, but I put this simple love story in that global context. and I feel that recently with the pandemic, the mondial COVID-19,
Yeah.
I don't know for you, but we feel a lot that feeling, feeling. No,
The
we
emotions.
we feel deeply that the most important thing with this big world collapse was to were friends and the people we love, and the most important thing was just to put people in the arms, or more than buying clothes and cars and many things. And in Fish Love, I think there is something like that, because it's a story of two people who just want uh, somebody to take in the arms.
Yeah. And in doing that, you choose two actors that are a bit different. Gustav Kervern as Daniel, and also India Air. Can you explain a bit more about your choice, and how do you direct themselves in these two different atmosphere and personality?
You think they are different in terms of?
I don't know. I think they're a bit different because Gustav Kervern is really well known about just the comic part, and India is a bit more maybe not known really, especially in that context in France, at least. So I would like just to, I was curious to know more about just why it was Gustav and also India. For me, they are a bit different.
But I'm not think exactly like you, because I saw Gustave in a French movie called Dans la Cour, and he was really melancholic, and that was the first time I saw him in such a kind of role, and suddenly I see that I saw that it was possible to do something different with him, and India play in some very comical role, in Riyad Satouf movie, or
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
but for me it was important to find two characters who have a lot of ont des blessures secrètes.
Who wanted the secret uh, secret ones, I think. Just to blessure secret. Maybe the viewer can try to understand French with blessure secret. I don't know, but just,
It's
I
to, both of them have some secret pain,
yeah.
and they recognize each other because of that. And maybe that was their um, what that they have in common. When I see their face, or they can be funny, but they are sad
At the same time.
somewhere
But
deeply.
how do you know
But
about their secret pain for Gustav and India?
I I know some of them, but I cannot say because it's a secret, and they told me it's a secret. But no, it's a question of face. I don't know, but that's true that it was one of the difficult movie, that people believe that those two people so different uh, could fall in love,
Yeah.
and uh, and 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 I didn't know if it will work, if people will be happy that at the end something happened with them. But I, I have some discussion with people in theaters in the audience, and it worked. And
Yes, I remember of the screening of in Bordeaux last October, and all the people, all the audience were really into and emotional about the film. That's true. So it worked.
yes, and it's funny too, that's great because people are laughing during the screening, but they are a little bit sad, and that's really what I wanted to have both of the two emotion, because it's not a anxious movie about the end of the world. It's a sweet apocalypse.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that in a theater recently. Oh, it's really cute because it's sweet apocalypse. So people are happy with that. The apocalypse could be really sweet.
Before we have still, I think, a few minutes left. Can you say a bit more? Is there something atypical in the making of your film? You choose a Finnish cinematographer called Timo Salminen, who was working in the Aki Kaurismäki film. How did you react to his atmosphere, and how did you direct him on set?
It's the third time I'm working with him because I did my two first feature movie with him, and so now we know very well each other. And for this movie, I asked him something different than the last one, Swagger, because Timo is very good with shadows. He have a really beautiful work with shadows, and it's something I love very much in his work. And it's a kind of nostalgia or homage of film noir movie, Hitchcock movies, and but for this one, I asked him not to play with shadow like he used to do, because I wanted something a little bit more cold and very contemporary, and because it was a movie just in dans un futur proche, in a
Near future.
near future. But we didn't have all the money we wanted, like a lot of movies, to do a lot of movement, and so. But that's a French science fiction movie. We are not in the US or in Hollywood, or so we did. The movie is more simple that we wanted to at the beginning, but maybe it's good. Maybe it's good for the humanity of the movie because it's simple, and it's simple people like you and me, or in the future. But I mean, maybe that's what the people love in the movie, because I am the same than the characters. I mean, I'm not watching them or not from the d'en
God
haut,
point of view, yes. From
like God.
yeah.
No, I'm really like
You're not
with
God.
them, and that's what I love with Timo Salminen work. It's because he always have a lot of respect for every character. He always give a chance to any characters, even a guy completely drunk in a bar on the back. Timo gonna give him a lot of humanity and respect, and that's what I love in his work.
And my last question will be, in your film, hope is very much linked to the desire of having and waiting a child. Yet in the end, Daniel and Lucie, we know that they won't have kids, maybe, but normally they won't have a kid. So how did you shape this, and how did you make this? What did you mean for you? Since hope is waiting and having babies, and yet they won't have them, how do you feel about this end?
For me, it was that the hope is life, but not. I don't know if it's gonna be human. Even if we disappear, if is it so important because life gonna continue, and at the end of the movie, it's the idea of life always trying to a way to continue, and the hope is maybe it's not with the humans, but maybe with
A fish.
with the fish. And how one theory of the evolution is that a fish um, came out from the sea with arms, and is maybe our ancestor. And my idea was maybe everything gonna begin again from the beginning, and maybe it's gonna be a better species.
Wow. It's a good conclusion. Thank you, Olivier.
Thank you very much.